Hello you! Today we're going to create this cute little spooky owl. Let's get started. Let's open up a new canvas in Procreate. I like my favorite 8x8 inch. We're going to have black paint, the monoline pen under the calligraphy section. I'm going to have my tip at about 60% and 100% opacity. Now we'll draw an oval shape. Once that's done, open up a new layer and draw a circle shape. Now have both layers showing and place the circle, which will be the head of the owl, towards the top of the oval shape. I'm not going to place the circle at the very top because I want the owl to look like he's hunched over, kind of grumpy. Next, go ahead and combine your layers, then choose the eraser tool and clean it up. Let's open up a new layer, choose your brush tool, draw a circle, and drag and drop the color in, or you can color it in like I did. Duplicate the layer, choose your arrow tool, make sure it's on uniform and snapping, and place the other eye into your desired spot, making sure to leave enough room for the beak. Once done, you can go ahead and combine those two layers. And what I decided to do in order to make my owl look even more grumpy was take the eraser tool and slice off the top of the eyes diagonally. Before making any more changes to the eyes, I decided to duplicate the layer, choose white paint, change my pen size so it's a little bit smaller, and cross out the eyes. Okay, that really reads grumpy owl. Let's move on to the beak. Go ahead and open a new layer, and then we're going to have two colors in the beak. First, we're going to have a darker orange, so go ahead and take your time to select the kind of orange that you want and draw a triangle. Once that's done, go ahead and choose your second color. It should be lighter than the first, more on the yellow side. Open up a new layer and draw another triangle right above your first orange triangle. Alright, now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and combine these two layers and move on to the cheek. Open up a new layer, then within your color wheel, go ahead and choose the color of the cheeks that you want. I'm going to stay within the pink-purple range as usual. So go ahead and follow along as we create the cheeks together. We'll be done in a matter of seconds. Okay, at this point I am so happy with his face. I'm going to go ahead and combine all the layers. You don't have to combine all the layers, you can just keep them separate if you want to. Moving on to the ears. Open up a new layer, choose the color black, have your pen tip size at about 50%, and go ahead and follow along. At this point, I'm happy with the ears, so I'm going to go ahead and attach them to the rest of the body. And then I'll clean it up with the eraser tool. Now to finish off the head of the owl, I'm going to create a sweat bead. Go ahead and open up a new layer. Choose the kind of blue that you want. I go for a bit of an aqua. And then what you want to do is draw a teardrop and fill it in. It's okay if it takes you a couple of tries like it did me. Find the perfect spot for your sweat bead, and the head is all done. Once you're happy with everything, go ahead and combine your layers, and then we'll move on to the wings. Follow along. Our bird is coming along. Now let's move on to the feet, aka proper name, talons, T-A-L-O-N-S. Let's open up a new layer. We're going to have our pen size at about 60% and then draw a circle. Press it to make sure it's perfect. And what we're going to do is duplicate this 5 times. And just a reminder, in order to get those grid lines, you have to have your snapping selected. Now we're going to combine the layers, shrink it a little bit, bring our bird back, and place the talons at the bottom of the bird. Now that I have the talons placed where it makes me happy, I'm going to go ahead and go into the color wheel, choose an orange, and fill it in. Then at that point, I will attach it to the rest of the image. After I've duplicated the layers just as a backup, I go ahead and combine the bird with the talons. Now I'm going to choose the black paint and draw in the nails. Now let's drag and drop some colors to finish off the wings and body. He's quite handsome if you ask me. So let's go ahead and draw the branch that he's going to perch on. Now that our branch is done, let's go ahead and select the bird to bring it back. Bring the branch behind the bird, and with a few adjustments, we will be done with this part of the cartoon. And now we are finished. Let's go ahead and duplicate our owl just for safekeeping. Open up a new canvas and we'll go ahead and start on the backdrop. Let's start off with a black oval shape that we will fill in. Before making any adjustments, make sure it's on uniform. That way your oval stays an oval. Duplicate the layer, and on the top layer, choose a dark color blue and fill it in. Now shrink the blue layer, and you will see this will create a nice black frame. Now before we add any layers to this blue circle, we want to make sure it stays within the blue and not the black. So open up another layer and select clipping mask. Make sure it's directly above the blue shape, not the black. Choose a lighter color blue. Then you're going to draw a rectangle starting about the middle of the shape. Make sure to connect the lines and fill it in. We're going to repeat these steps a couple of times with different shades of blue. Now we're going to add a moon to our image. So open up another layer, choose gray, make sure clipping mask is selected, and draw in your moon. If clipping mask wasn't selected with the moon, it would go out of the blue image and you wouldn't be able to have this peaking effect. Now let's go ahead and create the tombstone and a few finishing touches, and we'll be all done. After choosing a darker color gray, I'm opening up another layer and I'm going to draw in a tombstone. A few finishing touches with some black grass, a cross on the tombstone, and some squiggly lines for writing. This image will be done. Okay, our backdrop looks fantastic. Let's go ahead and grab our owl. Select the owl. I choose to remove the background color first just to make sure there's no speckles. Use 3 fingers to copy. Open up our backdrop, 3 fingers again to paste. Move your owl around until you're happy with the placement. This is so pretty, it looks absolutely gorgeous. So before I combine all the layers, I duplicate just as a backup, and then I seal the deal. Let's combine those layers. And now our gorgeous little spooky, grumpy owl is done. I hope you're as happy with yours as I am with mine. As always, you're the best for joining me today. Please like and subscribe to see more of my videos.